So this is the abstract data Octocontroller. This is an 8 output 12 function control module. And for each of the different functions, so we have gate functions, LFOs, some digital noise, sample and hold, CV and gates, so random gates, and our 10 pre-programmed arpeggios and 10 pre-programmed trigger loops. And for each one of these functions, you also have a clock division and multiplication based on the tempo which you set up here. You also have a phase offset of that clock division or multiplication. These can be quantized to the original tempo, but you can also turn this off by touching these buttons here. Each one of the functions also has an option which changes the behavior of that function. In this series of videos, what I'm going to be doing is building patches based on the Octocontroller. So in this patch, what I wanted to do is take these 6 outputs, which are all on the sample and hold gates function, and kind of start with a really wonky sequence that's all completely unquantized and unlooping, and then bring it back in by just going through each output and quantizing it, and then looping part of that quantized random sample and hold sequence. So this is what everything sounds like. Everything is completely unquantized, and so it kind of sounds like nonsense, really. So let's start with the kick and snare sequence. Obviously, that doesn't really make a lot of sense at the moment. So if we go to our snare, first of all, let's try and lock that to a groove. So it's this number 6 output. Let's quantize it, quantize the offset, and quantize the division or the multiplication. I'm just going to reduce the multiplication. And then we go to our kick drum, do the same, quantize it. And now we have a drum loop, which is just it's a simple kick and snare, both from Peaks over here, the Mutable Instruments Peaks. Then we have these 2 kind of pitched sequences. So we have the kind of more like high-pitched one, which is on number 3, which is the rhythm of which is being opened by number 3, and number 1 is opening the kind of more like bass sound, I guess you would call it. And these are just 2 simple waves from my oscillators, just through 2 filters, which are being opened and closed by 2 envelopes on the quadra down here. So if we go up to those and do the same, quantize them. So this is the kind of bass sound. So at the moment, we introduce our kick and our snare, and we have a little loop going on, and then we introduce our other pitched sequence, which, as you can hear, is completely random. So we quantize the offset, quantize the division and the multiplication. And now you can hear we have a little sequence going. The pitch of both of these 2 oscillators is coming from Rene down here. As you can see, I've kind of cheated some power by pulling a ribbon cable out of my case and powering this externally. It's probably not the best idea, but it kind of works for this. The rhythm of the change of that sequence is being stepped through the sequence by this split output here, which is our kick. So as the kick plays, the sequence steps to the next step in the sequence. So that's kind of like that part of the patch. And then we have this kind of FM bass underneath, which is the Mankato filter as an oscillator, and it has 2 sine wave FM inputs from both my Dixie and the Pittsburgh oscillator, which are my other 2 sequences. So these are getting the sequence, and then those sine wave outputs are going to FM Mankato, so you kind of get this kind of bass sound. Obviously at the moment the rhythm of that opening and closing of that sound is completely random, so we go to that output, which is this number 5 here. We can see it's unquantized, so quantize the offset, quantize the division and the multiplication, and then we lock a sequence just like that, and then we bring in everything else. So the last sound we have is this kind of, that sound, which is kind of like I guess an alarm or something like that, you might say. And that is on this output number 4. Again, unquantized, quantize that, and lock it to a groove. And then we have and what's really nice about this kind of like having lots of these kind of pseudo random looping structures is that very quickly you can go in and just kind of change the loops and the division and the multiplication, and you can have like a kind of completely different sequence from nothing. I've got a couple of other things going on with this patch. So we have on this kind of pitch sound we have some delay, just to kind of add something, and then on the on that alarm sort of sound we have some textural stuff from clouds. So altogether we have this. And so as I said earlier, you can just go through, change some of the loops. And very quickly you can change your sequence. This is kind of one of my favorite things about this, about the Octocontroller, is doing this kind of pseudo-random looping stuff. And it's really musical as well. The way that, I don't know how it's been programmed, but the way that it kind of chooses those notes in, or those triggers within that kind of random section is really musical. So you can just kind of go through and just all of a sudden you've got these kind of sequences that are random in essence, but sound pretty